Am I the idiot for calling my sister a coke whore? I'm 18F. I live with my parents and my sister, Joanne, 23F. Joanne has a cocaine habit and she claims it's normal in her job and it's just the lifestyle of chefing, yada yada. My parents seem to be ignoring it since Joanne pays her rent on time and keeps to herself when she's in the house and doesn't cause many problems. I'm a college student on a government grant, and I'm in college Monday to Friday up until 5/6 p.m. Working isn't really an option for me right now, so I don't go out much and I spend all my money on college supplies. Joanne doesn't seem to understand this and is always asking to borrow money and whatnot. I always say no because it works out that I only have 40 euros every week to spend on college stuff and travel to college. I got a Christmas bonus on my grant and I ended up deciding to book tickets for a smallish local gig that's next week. I booked two, one for me and one for my best friend because her birthday is the same day and she loves the type of music. It was meant to be a surprise for her. I had told Joanne about this on one of her good days, because I was genuinely excited to finally do something and live the college student lifestyle for a night. The tickets were digital, on an account shared with my parents. Joanne had asked for the login telling them that she wanted to book tickets to something, but she was lying and used it to sell my tickets for drug money. I didn't find out until I had gotten the email to confirm that the tickets were sent to someone else and I was really confused at first. I checked and they were sent to someone I know Joanne knows. I went straight to her when she got home and asked what the fuck she did, and she tried lying but I showed her proof it went to someone she knows and told her I wanted my money back then and there. She told me it was gone already. I lost my mind and started yelling at her because it wasn't fair. My mom was just in from work and I was screaming at my sister who was crying at that point saying she was sorry, and she didn't know it would upset me this much. My mom got involved and told me to keep my voice down and we'll talk about it, and I told her to shut up and stay out of it. I ended up saying something along the lines of, "Why is it fair that you get to do this to me when I've never even drank alcohol or smoked weed? Why does the coke whore get to be the golden child but not me?" My mom stepped in and put a stop to it then and there. My sister had started screaming back at me for what I called her. My mom said that was out of line and she just made a mistake. I told my mom her mistake cost me the only night out I'll have been able to have all year, so she should hear what I have to say about it. My mom thinks I was in the wrong for what I said, and my sister won't even look at me even though it's been 3 days and I've tried apologizing. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for not helping my wife with the kids when she wanted to keep them home from daycare and I have to work? So my wife and I have 2 kids. One who is a bit over 2 years old and another that is 5 months old. I work Monday to Friday, September 5th from home, occasionally go into the office. My wife is on maternity leave and taking care of the 5-month-old. I take care of the baby for overnight wakings and feedings. The 2-year-old is in daycare. Whether I send my kid to daycare 1 day or 5 days a week for 1 hour or 8, it costs the same. My wife likes to pick up our toddler from daycare around 3:15 every day instead of letting me go when I finish work, because she doesn't want our kid to be there so much during the day. The problem is I am left watching the baby for the 45 minutes while she is gone, and then for the hour that she is taking care of both of them she gets overwhelmed, stressed, very annoyed at me and our kids. It's just not great overall. Every day my wife tells me that she is exhausted, she has no time to herself, she doesn't get things done that she needs to. She's overwhelmed, just wants to relax when the baby naps, etc. I try to help out with the baby during the day when I can, like feeding and putting him down during my lunch break. I just try to be available throughout the day if my wife needs me. Anyways, on to the main point of this post. Last night my wife tells me she wants to keep the toddler home from daycare today. I told her that I didn't think it was a good idea. How is she going to feed and put the baby down for a nap while taking care of toddler? She already gets stressed and overwhelmed just looking after the baby. Why put herself through more stress? I told her that I could not take the day off of work and she would be alone taking care of both kids. She said she really wanted to spend time with both kids and felt like she doesn't see our toddler enough. Fine, no problem, if she wants to do this it is up to her. I reiterated that I would not be around to help. Cut to this morning, I got up at midnight and 4 a.m. to take care of the baby. I get both kids ready and made breakfast for everyone. I start work and sure enough, 20 minutes after I started, I hear my wife trying to tell our toddler that she just needs to go in the other room to put the baby down for a nap. Of course the toddler doesn't want to leave her side, toddler starts crying. I can hear my wife getting frustrated. Wife finally leaves to put baby down and comes back. She now has to juggle going back and forth trying to settle the baby by putting the pacifier back in. We are starting some sleep training, and the toddler who wants all of her attention. Finally baby gets settled, wife is obviously stressed and tired and it is 9:45 a.m. She comes into my office where I am working and asks, did I not hear her struggling? Why did I not come and help? Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my brother and Sil I don't think my nephew's request was outrageous at all? My brother has 3 boys who are 18, 16, and 15. The oldest is graduating high school this year. They split time between their mom's house and my brother's house. My brother and his ex-wife divorced a decade ago. Both have since remarried. My brother has 2 stepdaughters, younger than his boys, and a daughter with his wife. The boys' mom has also had more children. A few weeks ago the boys asked to speak to my brother and their mom together and made a request that for the graduation, and the graduation of the younger 2, that at some point they get a photo of just the 5 of them, so they could have a photo of just them and their parents and nobody else. My brother and Nasael have not shut up about it since. They think it was outrageous and that the boys are terrible for requesting this. Nasael was particularly offended because the girls would not be included, and how would they feel knowing their brothers don't consider them family enough to want them in all the family photos, or to distinguish them as lesser than for having a different mom to them. The boys told me their mom and her husband has a very similar reaction, though not as dramatic. But they do not like that the boys want something without her husband and their children together. My brother and Nasael were going on and on the other week about it during our sister's birthday dinner, and after other family tried to change the subject, and were ignored, I told them I did not find the request outrageous at all and understood why they would ask. Then I said maybe the topic should be dropped. Nasael asked me how the hell I could understand and how could I excuse the request. I told her that despite the divorce, my brother and his ex-wife are still mom and dad to the boys and they love them both. So it would probably be nice for them to have a photo of just the 5 of them on what is a big milestone in my oldest nephew's night. My sister and her husband agreed with me. My brother and Nasael think I was an asshole for understanding the boys' request, and that I should be thinking about how my nieces will feel and how Nasael feels, given the request wasn't to have the whole family in a photo, but to have the old family in it, before any of them came around. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for not caring to tell my in-laws I'm pregnant? Back in December my husband and I found out we are expecting and we hadn't told anyone up until this past weekend, when we announced it to my family. All of them were super excited. My family is very close to my husband and has been super involved in our lives. We go on vacation with them every year, see them multiple times throughout the year and they actively check in on us. His family on the other hand is estranged. We see them all once a year, Thanksgiving, and it's very awkward every single time. The only reason we are invited is because they want help with funding their feast. They don't like my husband and have been telling me to leave him and save myself since I got together with him. He was severely depressed at that time and had no goals. He's much different now, but they still hold it against him years later. It's important to note that we had become pregnant years ago and miscarried. None of his family was excited, and when they found out we miscarried they said it was for the best. So this time around I truly don't care if they know. I don't care to tell them. I don't like them as people and I certainly don't like how they treat my husband. To be quite frank, I could go my entire life keeping my unborn child from them people and sleep soundly at night. They shit-talk my husband to everyone, so I guarantee they will do the same to our kid. So after we told my family, my husband said something about, now we have to figure out how to tell my family, because we did a special announcement to my family with lots of planning. I said, how about a FB post? He asked why my family got a special announcement but his doesn't, and I said, we can do a special announcement if you want, but I don't see the point because they won't be excited and they will not care. Just like the first time around. I wasn't trying to be dismissive about it, but I guess I kind of am in the same sense because his family aren't good people. And as I said, we can make a special announcement for them, but I truly think it's a waste of time and effort. He says he's hurt that I'm so dismissive and maybe a special announcement will help them see he's not the man that he used to be. So he wants to do it for approval, whereas I think it's a waste.